You're both coming here off the back of the Olympics. How do you both reflect on the Games in Paris, and how have you prepared to switch to the 100k distance since then?
You go first.
Me? Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's quite a big question. The first part, we're, I don't know, 6 weeks past the Olympics now. Reflecting back on it, geez, that's a pretty deep question for me, so I'll keep it pretty short. I think for me, I left Paris really disappointed, and I hoped for more. It was going to be my final Olympics, and obviously I went in as the defending Olympic champion, and off the back of a tough injury, but yeah, I really hoped to be fighting for that podium, and I wasn't. I was just off of it in 5th, which, I mean, probably for most people was a great finishing position. I think when I look back at that result in a few years' time, I'll be really proud, but at the moment it hits pretty deep that I was off my goal, and I'm not going to go back in 4 years' time to try and fight again for the podium. That was a tough pill to swallow. But at the same time, it's been really great to sort of shift gears and shift my focus to having the T100. And it's a completely new part of triathlon that both of us, well, Taylor's never done one. I've done like 1 or 2 of them, but it's still very new. And I think, at least for me, it's very exciting to be at this part of my career and be a rookie and be kind of nervous and uncomfortable going into a distance and being not fully prepared. Because I mean, I've only been back on my TT bike like 5 weeks now. I rode it a bit in 2022, but then I didn't touch it after a few races then. And so yeah, it's kind of all new, and the fueling and the people you're racing and the distance, like it's really exciting to be here. I think if I had to continue racing sort of more short course for the rest of the year, I would definitely not be as excited and be dragging more. But yeah, post-Olympics, it's been nice to shift gears and do something new.
That's a good answer.
I talked a lot.
I think I have a lot of similar feelings to Flora when it comes to my results at the Olympic Games, my individual result. I had like a year of a lot of sickness leading into the Games, and I don't think I was as prepared as I could have been, and as good as 10th may seem to so many people. I also wanted to be fighting for the podium, and I had been in the year leading up to it in many of the races. So it was, kind of a disappointment, but being able to race the relay with the US team, including Taylor Nibb, who's also racing this series, was really, it was just really special because it was like redemption for all of us, because I think the whole US team kind of underperformed in our individual races. So to come back and not just be fighting for a medal, but be fighting for gold in such a close race was special. And to walk away with silver was incredible. But yeah, when it comes to the post-game blues, I don't think I was able to really experience that because, like Flora said, it's been 6 weeks, and I've raced 3 times in the last 6 weeks. So yeah, I just, in my mind after the Olympics, no matter what happened, I just wanted to keep going and do super try and get my feet wet in this series, and here I am with about 2 weeks, I think, of real preparation. But it's exciting to be feel like you're new in a sport again, and I'm just going into this with a learning mindset and asking everyone a bunch of questions and soaking it all in.
Flora, you briefly touched on it just before, but you've raced the 100k distance twice before in 2022. What did you learn from both of those outings, and how have you adapted training or strategy heading into the second half of this season?
Yeah, both of those 2 T100 experiences in 2022 were huge learning curves for me. I probably didn't leave either with particularly fond memories, to be honest, because I feel like the distance just completely beat me up and humbled me. Not that I went in with expectations of, I'm going to win it, but I went in with expectations that I'll be all right. And then I just kind of was, but also kind of was a little bit over my head. So I definitely learned a lot about fueling and nutrition. I think it was a little bit tough because Dallas was insanely hot conditions. And when you go into something new and fueling for this distance is new for you as well, anytime you're kind of like a little bit exposed to extreme conditions, like I think that just can really expose big holes in your preparation. And so, I definitely suffered in Dallas, but I did learn a lot. I learned a lot about what my fueling needs for 100K distance in those extreme conditions. But also like the positive side, it like showed me, oh, well, some parts of my race did go pretty well and I was competitive and I just kind of like messed up some of the fueling aspects. And if I can correct that, then maybe I can be in the hunt for the podium. So definitely learned about the fueling and just like the pacing and the dynamics of riding in the packs. Like it's quite stressful, keeping the 20-meter gap and not drafting or not doing anything wrong. And yeah, it was definitely a lot to like experience and learn in those two races.
Taylor, you're obviously a T100 rookie. What excites you most about stepping up in distance and what scares you the most?
Ooh, I think the thing that excites me the most is that this is so new to me, and I don't have necessarily high expectations for myself in this one, but I know that with each one I can get better just with the experience. The thing that scares me the most is, I think, getting used to the TT position and fueling, like Flora said.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. I know how much I need to fuel, but I think doing it in a race is like just something I'm not used to, obviously, because I've never raced something this long. It's almost like twice as long as our normal races. So, I'm just taking notes from what she said and what all the other athletes have said, and hopefully I won't hate it too much.
Yeah.
That's a good segue. Have you offered Taylor any advice, Flora? And if not, what is your advice to Taylor?
Well, I don't think Taylor should be taking advice from me because I don't think I know what I'm doing either. No, what is it? I feel like we're just sort of supporting each other through this. So I think, both have had limited preparation. Maybe I've had a little bit more time on the TT bike, and I've done a couple of these in the past, but it's not like I rocked up and won them and did them great. So I think I don't have that much more. It's just like the biggest thing I've learned is like something probably will go wrong, but it's such a long race that there's opportunity to correct it. You know, like if you miss the swim front pack, like, because coming from short courses, like if we miss the swim front pack, we're like, oh no, our race is over. Whereas like here, it's like, well, you have 80 Ks and then an 18K run. Like it's a lot more individual, and like time to a bad bike, well, you have 18 kilometers to like run back. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I've learned through my limited experience.
Okay, thank you, taking notes.
I don't know if that's really advice or helpful, but yeah, you gotta just keep moving forward. Is basically what I've learned.
People view short course athletes as the fastest athletes in the world and full distance athletes as the athletes with the highest endurance in the world. And the T100 is kind of in the middle of the ultimate test of speed and endurance. What advantages do your illustrious short course careers really provide you for the race on Saturday?
I don't know, because that's the thing, is like the distance is right in the middle where, the pace that we'll run is much slower than what we would run in a 10K, but you're running it for 18Ks off of 80-kilometer bikes, then it almost doesn't feel like as comfortably easy as you would like expect it to. So I don't know. I think what we have going for us is we're good swimmers, so the swim will be a lot less chaotic and stressful as they normally are. I don't know.
The swim is the only thing I'm not worried about.
Yeah. Oh, really? But actually, in my 2 long course races, that's the one part I've screwed up. I've had bad swims.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why.
Oh no. Yeah, I probably just jinxed myself.
Yeah.
But, oof. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
I
We
don't
can come
know.
up with anything.
I mean, I think at least maybe our bike handling and like tactically we're comfortable. So, but I guess
we're
it's just
going
a straight.
straight.
It's a straight line.
We're used to racing very competitive fields all the time.
Yeah, and
So-
I'd say this is like one of the most competitive middle distance fields
Yes.
you can find. So like I'm just jumping into the deep end.
Yeah.
Another great segue. Who are the women on this start line that you're either excited or scared to race?
I wouldn't say I'm scared to race anybody, but excited. Well, I mean, or people to look for. I mean, obviously Taylor Nib, Ashley Gentle, who we've both raced short course with. Very good short course athletes that have stepped up really well. Paula Finlay, yeah, man, super strong on the bike. Think it'll be Annie Haug, you know, coming off the back of what happened last weekend at Ironman World Championships. I feel like she's going to be pretty hungry to race fast, and so she's usually coming from the back and running very fast, so that'll be daunting to have her around.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how like Kat pulls up after World Champs last weekend. Honestly, everyone.
Yeah.
Like I know we're not saying everyone's names, but everyone.
Yeah, I agree, because it's like with this field and depending on who has their day on this course, like it could be like pretty much anybody in the race that could be up there, and you wouldn't be surprised.
Like Indy won the first one. Imogen Simmons got second in London. I'm missing a bunch more, but yeah, everyone in this race has pretty much been on a podium, so that's really intimidating.
Yeah.
What are you both expecting from the course and the conditions out on course this weekend?
Ooh, I think, well, from sort of some of the races that I've done, these are the most like normal conditions. It's not extremely hot. It's not freezing cold. You know, there's a nice breeze off the ocean. It is a bit humid, so like heat will play a bit of a factor, especially because we're starting at 10:30.
I think it will feel hot.
So then on the run, it'll start to feel hot. So certainly like your nutrition and hydration will play a big role. So it definitely will be pretty tough out there. The bike is pretty fast rolling. It's a little bit windy, but I think it should overall, I think, be reasonably fast conditions.
Except the run. I heard there's a hill on the run.
Oh.
A decent hill.
Okay.
I haven't seen it yet, so I can't speak.
Okay.
But it's what I've heard. Josh Amberger was telling me about it.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Right.
Race day.
I'll leave that for race day. Yeah, surprise on the course.
Surprise,
Yeah.
we have to do this 8 times.
7.
7, oh, sorry.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know how many laps we're doing. The race briefing's later. So.
Yeah.
Because of the Olympics, you've both got 3 races and no room for error if you want to compete at the top of the standings at the end of the year. How much pressure is on both of you to deliver?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we don't really have much like wiggle room, because if we want to do well in the series, we essentially have to do super well in the next 2 races, here and Las Vegas. And being at our first races and coming in unprepared, yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking. I think, at least speaking for myself, I would like to race this distance and be on the series next year and get a contract. So that's definitely heavily on my mind, that I can't screw up on Saturday or in Vegas or in Dubai, because yeah, that's my goal for next year, to be a contracted racer. So that's in the back of my mind, but at the same time, I'm trying to remember that this is new for me and I need to keep it fun and light and just kind of enjoy the process of learning a new side of triathlon.
I'm just here to enjoy the experience. No, I really need to do this first race, and then I think I can answer this question a little bit better. I would like to do more races next year when I'm more prepared, whereas like this year I'm kind of just like doing it to get that experience and that exposure so that I can be more prepared in the future, because I think without these first races, like I won't know what to expect. But then again, with that said, I've also like really overcommitted myself intentionally, because like I said, I wanted post-Olympics to just be kind of full of racing, full of like kind of finding some fun in the sport again and trying something new. So I do have not just these next 3 races, but I also have 2 more Super Tri races. So I'm racing every 2 to 3 weeks until Dubai. So I'd like to perform. Hopefully I do all right, but I know that as competitive as this field is, I can't go into it with super high expectations without the right preparation. yeah, I'll just learn as I go.
So with that being said, what would both of you consider a good result on Saturday?
Oof, it's like such a hard question for me to answer because obviously my initial response is to be on the podium or top 5, but then my other side of my brain is no, this is brand new for you. You're coming off the back of the Olympics. Preparation hasn't been great. All of these women pretty much race this distance, so you need to be a little bit more
She'll be fine.
Fair, but
She'll be fine.
I don't know. I think overall to be competitive in the race and to be fighting towards the front and really just to execute solidly over swim, bike, and run, particularly the run, because the previous races I've done, I've come off the bike and I haven't been able to run to my capabilities. And so it would be really nice just to do that and not be walking or, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope I'm not walking either. You can just cut to the clip of me walking in the race. I would like a top 10, but I know that's very ambitious with this field. But that would be nice. Yeah, and just to make sure I get the little things right so that I'm more or less in the race. I know we're both strong swimmers, so well, despite what Flora said, the swim wasn't the best in her first races. Hopefully it goes well here so that we're kind of in the mix the whole time. I know that the TT is gonna be long for me because I've only ridden it a handful of times thus far. And yeah, not walking on the run would be great.
Flora, Taylor, good luck this weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.